Hello, welcome to Empowered Educators with Ronette Branham, where we offer strategies, wisdom, live anecdotes just for you and your classroom. I thank you for tuning in. I should have waited a second, but a little fast. Um, but I am so glad that I have you guys here. If I guess I don't have to do. So I'm so glad I have you guys here. Um, I'm one of those take. We got to stop and take, but it's live. So
That's all good. It's all good.
Good.
thank you, Jeremy and Trey. Man, I people were calling me and telling me how great it was, and then they watched, and so I told everybody that was one of my best shows um
Wow.
last week.
Wow.
And it was funny because the problem that I had wasn't a problem, was keeping up with the comments. So that was awesome, and I thank you for bringing it because you brought it. So Jeremy, again, you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely, sure. My name is Jeremy Bell. I'm a fourth grade teacher from Camden, New Jersey. I've been teaching for about 7 years. I'm excited to be on. Got a lot of feedback from last week. Positive feedback. A lot of people just stating, truly enjoy having you guys learning about the topic. And the fact is, it's just a topic that can be exhausted. I mean, we can talk about this forever. It can't be exhausted. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm ready to get into this, especially in light of what's going on in the news currently. Another one bites the dust. But yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Okay, thank you again for coming, tuning in. Trey, you want to tell us to reintroduce yourself?
It's not much, but my name is Travarius Cunningham. You can call me. People call me Travarius. They call me Trey. People call me Cunningham. It does not matter. I'm a third grade teacher in Memphis, Tennessee. I've been teaching for this is going into my 8th year, third grade math teacher. So again, I'm just excited about being back with you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
I'm excited too. And everybody need a co-host, I'm gonna call you too, because you don't understand.
You can
And
call anytime,
Yes, sir.
anytime. I'm gonna pick up the phone.
I enjoyed it.
oh, thank
Absolutely.
you, thank you. I had somebody's friend
Hey, that's
saying
Andre,
hey.
Mr. Brown. Shout out, fellow black educator at my school.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
So
really?
yes, he is. So
Oh,
he
you
runs
can
the
call him
aftercare
over.
program as well. Yeah, he's tuned in.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Brown. I appreciate it. And then I told you last week that I met Jeremy Saturday. It was
Yeah.
Saturday, right?
Yes.
Saturday. I met you Saturday. We talked for like 1 second, and then I was like, "Hey," and then we kept on talking, and I'm like, You're going to be perfect because how many male black teachers do you meet?"
That's
And
real.
then he had that energy, so that it worked. Thank God
Absolutely.
he's yeah. And then Trey, I was wondering your name was Trey. I'm like Trey, okay, all right. But no, okay. But you know how I met Trey? I didn't even meet him. He was posting content on
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I think it's Black Educators. Might be. Are you uh, um are you I don't know what you call it, friended, following Black Educators on?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so he was interested. I'm like, okay. I saw three men who one is a principal in Philly. You probably see him. I can't think of his name. He has an answer, but I'm gonna show him this, and I'm gonna say you need to answer, because he's on the news and everything. And so um I saw him, and I asked. I think he took a minute to get back, and then finally we connected again,
Mm,
and it just is perfect.
Yeah.
Couldn't be any more perfect, right?
Right,
that's real.
right. It was all in God's time, and it was
Come
just
on now.
the perfect time, the perfect fit.
Right, right. And we were waiting for another guy to get back to me last week. He never did. Um,
Whoa, it just
and
Mm,
clicked on me. The other guy that you told me about was
yeah,
wasn't Jeremy. You met him Saturday.
right.
yeah,
The
yeah.
whole time I was thinking he was the guy. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
No,
No,
no, no.
it just
We
was.
met on a whim, real talk.
Wow.
I was at a
Wow.
wedding, and somehow another teaching came up, and I was like, "Yeah, I teach." And she was like, "You do?" And it was right from there. It was like, "Let's get it." You know, I have a podcast. I'm like, "Yo, I love to be on it," and it just worked. I mean, and um, excellent topic. You know, right up what's going on, and like I said, God works. That's how He moves, right? He makes those
Absolutely.
connections and puts things in place, and they always seem to be better than we could ever imagine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Especially
Got me
this,
finna shout. Got
man.
me finna shout over here, brother.
Listen,
Go ahead.
I couldn't have done it. Like I couldn't have. I know we gotta start talking about our subject, but what happened the week prior, I was asking these teachers because what were we talking about? Wasn't this? I forgot now. But I was asking teachers to come on and all these teaching groups that I'm a part of.
Mhm.
Um, People will comment and say, yeah, and give me an example. Um, and then, right, they want to respond, say, okay, so you want to be on a show? They know I had a podcast. They knew it, and nobody would respond. And it just, I got nervous. And so then I'm a part of another group, and I just threw it out there because all those people are speakers. So they all speak
Mm.
all over the place, all over the United States world. And so I had about 6 people responded to me. Like right then said, I'm good, I'm ready. I can't make it this day, but I'm gonna make it the next.
Right.
So I just was like, oh my God, because I'm like, I could do it, but come on, it's time now. And
Yeah.
so because I have had several guests, but right now I'm in a different spot in it.
Got you.
So I'm just glad that you came. I want to keep on doing that, but any before we start talking about statistics, anything that you noticed this week that you didn't notice last week prior to Tuesday, that when you look at your students now, you say, oh, I see what was happening here. Like because I'm present, because you're present. Do you have any that you noticed anything?
I will say on the onset that I notice something every day. I mean, I mean it's kids are growing. Like they're growing, they're evolving, they're getting older. Lord's will, they're getting wiser, you know what I'm saying? So I'm noticing that as a black man, that there are things that children need, um and they may not show you, initially, like, hey, I need, some affection, or
Mhm.
hey, I need some structure, or hey,
Mhm.
you may not realize that on the onset the first day. You may
True.
not realize it the first. There are some students you may see it, soon as you see them, I know exactly what you need. Then there are some, they're so quiet, they're mellow. It takes you a little time to figure it out, And so I'm noticing that the students who I thought, like, hey, you have great parents,
Mm.
you're in the 85th percentile in reading,
Right, right.
70th percentile in math, like you're on the right track. But I'm noticing those students who we think may not need as much time or attention or affection, they need it, if not more,
Come on.
because there's pressure placed on those students. We
Yeah.
often think about the students. We tend to focus on students, who we say are struggling, students who, we have to give them additional support to get there, but we forget those students who may be there, and we assume that you can handle anything we put on you.
Fact.
That's a lot of pressure. And so
Right.
I've been noticing, and I've been learning, even as, with myself as their teacher, that sometimes I put unexpected pressure on them,
Mm.
because I expect them to know. I expect them, I expect the 8-year-old to know. I expect to have it. And so, like I said, this year, I've been doing a lot of self-assessing and just taking a step back, and like, you just don't know, you're a kid. I don't
Right.
care how well you can read. How many times you could tell me your multiplication facts? Thank you for walking to my desk and telling me that 12 times 12 is 144. I'm very proud of you, but I know that you may need something else that because I put this pressure on you. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm realizing and I'm learning.
No,
Oh,
that's real. Um, Not to cut you off, but
okay.
I feel like more since last week, I've started to realize just how more important it is the role is as a black educator, as a black male educator. Um, as you said, like every day when you've been doing this for some time, you start to realize like, yo, like, man, there's not too many of us. Even just today, I just was sitting around realizing like, man, it's only like two, three black male teachers in my school, period. And there have been more, but they've kind of moved on and got in new positions and admin positions and things like that, or dean positions and roles, things like that. But as far as actual teachers, there's not too many of us. And as we dig into the statistics, we start to realize more and more how much that is important. But because of that, what started happening is kind of going off what Trey was saying. Like we'll be in the middle of a conversation, or in the middle of a lesson, and something we'll read in class. Like today, we was talking about taking your sweet time. That was like in the text, and the kids was like, "Oh, it must have been sugary," and I was like, "Yo,
They
y'all,
don't know.
y'all, do y'all know what they mean by that?" And like really taking the time to understand, like, no, if you taking your sweet time, like we started talking about molasses and honey and like how slow
Yeah,
it is to come out. And like when people say you're taking your sweet time, it's really talking like you moving too slow or you moving slower than you should. But it was just like to watch them like, oh, that's what that means. Like my mom be saying that, and I don't know what she be talking about. Like just to have those moments where it's like, yo, I'm giving you something more than just what the text
yeah,
is saying. But at the same time, it's like you said, I I teach all the subjects. So I teach math, I teach reading, I teach writing. So I'm with these kids all day.
Yeah,
These are my babies. I'm with them the whole day for the most part. And because of that additional time, I start to realize more things that they need. I start to realize the connections between home. I start to realize more about why the academics are the way they are. If I got a student that just keeps calling out like the wrong answers and things, it's like take him to the side and it's like, bro, what's going on? Like we really need to talk and figure out what's going like what outside of school is affecting you inside of school, because
hmm,
some moments you show me that you're capable, and then other moments you seem like you shut down, and it's like we got to work this out, especially as you move on. Like I'm only here with you for fourth grade. When you go into fifth grade, the demands are going to be stronger. The expectation is going to be higher. The workload is going to be higher. So it's like if you having trouble here in fourth grade, you're not even thinking about what it's going to be like in fifth grade, and making those connections with them. So for me, it's like, man, there's so few of us here. And I can't wait to really get into the statistics of it because you realize just how underrepresented we are. But it's like we spend so much time with our students outside of class, outside of our scheduled hours, where it's like, man, I'm not worried about like school will get to. I keep saying this, school will get
yeah,
to like you, the whole person, who you are.
yeah,
Those are the things that we focus on, and it's like we need more of those connections. So it's definitely I've looked at myself even more of like I said, that unicorn where it's like, yo, I gotta stand up and do more, to hold down my position because it's not too many of us. And as I mentioned earlier, what's going on in now with the teacher that just got fired, for having them kids in his hair. Like it's like, man, like I get it. I got hair. I've had my braids and things like that. I've been in those kind of situations, but it's like with the age of social media, with the way that things are moving on, and you got to be so careful. Like, man, like in this position, it's so important that we maintain that professionalism. If I speak, even as I'm saying this, I'm thinking about the things I need to do as a black male teacher, but being on time, showing that, being that I'm not a statistic, but and we'll get into that. But like I said, it was a lot of things that I just noticed throughout this last week.
yeah. I thought about you guys. I thought about you, and I thought about a person in their maturity.
Yeah.
think we're, we're, I don't know, friends, and we call these kids our friends and our little buddies, but we still have to have a level of maturity,
Right.
because I know Trey said he was start teaching right out of college.
I
You are
did.
young.
I did. I
Wow.
was
You, how
22.
old are you? 23, 22?
22.
Yeah,
Wow.
can you imagine? I can't imagine my grandson. He's 20. He's about to be 22. I cannot imagine him being. Now he could coach somebody. He could teach me. He taught me a lot of things, but in a classroom all day. Now he'll take care of his siblings, but some of the things that would come out of his mouth or things that he would do, I can't picture it.
Facts.
So coming
Facts.
out is just. I remember when I was in high school, there was a black teacher. He was really young. He started teaching right out of college. He was from Plainfield. I was living in Plainfield at the time. He was from there, and everybody knew him. He was cool. He was that cool teacher.
Mhm.
But he still maintained that level of professionalism, even though he wasn't that much older than us. I mean, he could have been our
Wow.
big brother. So I was riding home. I'm gonna let you guys talk. I'm gonna give you something. But I was riding home today, and I was listening to this music, and then I started thinking about, how you start. We do this. Past is past. You can't go back and do anything about
Mhm.
it. So no really sense of dwelling on it, except you want to make a change. I was thinking about the kids that I just say I failed, not my students, just like family members. And then I'm thinking about they need you guys coming into to school, and I was just getting all emotional, like, oh my God, right? Thinking, and it was a thing. You're these parents, they don't know sometimes. They don't know what they need. They don't know what they have. And then to send them to school, we trust everybody. We have to.
Right.
So we need you guys. We need, I don't know that we got statistics about recruitment and what could be done, but that's something. So statistic wise, my thing is um I have it. Is it up here? Okay. So it's talking about having a let me find it before I say it all wrong. Black students who have black teachers, um, mainly black males, may experience positive outcomes such as improved academic achievement, increased motivation, higher graduation rates, and
Mhm.
reduced disciplinary incidents. So, have you seen that? And when I say have you seen it in your classroom, or you see a child that's past you because they may have come in rough, and then so is that something that is true in your eyes?
Most definitely. I think that sometimes, and this is the blessing and this is the benefit of being not just a black male teacher, but a black male teacher in elementary schools. We still now, God has strategically placed me and other black men who are in this role, in this seat, where we are, to help shape and mold where these students and these kids are going.
Yes.
So I'm blessed. Like, a lot of people come to you and say, why don't you go to high school? And why don't you? High school got it easy. They more responsible. It's supposed to be more mature and da, 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 da.
Yes.
Right here is the place of grace. Like, this is where you're supposed to be, because you're getting to them early. You're giving them those things, those life nuggets, that respect, that discipline, that structure. You're giving them things that sometimes they may not be getting somewhere else, which will
Yes.
shape and help put them on the path they need to go down to be successful. And so I look at it like, there are students who may not even show you that they may go down a different path in life. Um,
Mhm.
I look at everybody, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, you got greatness in you, and you just got to unlock it. You have to listen to somebody to help you unlock it. And if you follow down this path, you listen to your parents, you do what you're supposed to do, you take education serious, you're going to be successful. And so I'm placed here to ensure that while you're in elementary school, you have everything you need to help you when you go to middle school and help
Yes.
you when you go to high school. Because statistics, like, I was reading an article, which is actually my dissertation, that says that students who have a black male teacher, or first it even said a black teacher in K3, they're like 30% more likely to go to graduate high school. Then they took the percentage up and said if you have a black male teacher, you're like 17% more likely to graduate high school and attend college. So I'm looking, it may not seem like a lot, but 17% more than what it is now is a lot. You know, if it's just one or two, under my tenure, it's a lot to me
Yeah.
because that's one or two who didn't go down a different path. They didn't choose to go down a life crime or different things like that. So I look at it in a sense like, hey, I'm strategically placed here by God to help you get where you're trying to go. And if you listen to me as this black man, I'm gonna do everything in my power to work with your parents to ensure that you get there.
Right. And that just even going what you're saying, like that's beyond the classroom. Like
Sir. Yes,
you
sir.
think about a schedule. I only got 45 minutes to teach you this math. Right? In that 45 minutes, man, half an hour might be the lesson. It might be 15 minutes of me just connecting with you. Like, yo, how you doing? What's going on? How was your day? Where for me, I have the benefit, like I said, of having them all day. I'm able to have those communications with them and figure out what's going on with them. But I've had incidences, or even recently, where a student who, gets in trouble often, and he's known to cut up here and there. Um, there was a time where he didn't want to talk to anybody. He didn't want to go to anybody. And since he's been in my classroom, I'm not saying like his behaviors have changed. I'm not saying like he's oh, now he's just so well behaved.
Yeah.
But like there's a connection where he's in the classroom with me, where it's like, no, I want to go where Mr. Bell is. I want to, and I've had conversations where people have said, well, what is it about Mr. Bell? And it's like, he spends time with me. He sees me for me. He's not just always getting on my behaviors, always trying to, correct me in this manner, but he sees me beyond just that. And when I heard that, for me, it was like, man, how many students are having that same kind of experience in other classrooms? How many
You
students are realizing, you know, yo, I want to go with this teacher because, not only does he look like me, not only can I relate to him, but, like he's really taking the time out to talk to me and not at me type situation.
Yeah. Good. That's good.
Statistically, we talk about, as you were saying, I was also looking at some statistics, like you said, just having one black teacher between K3 increased the likelihood of black students enrolling in college by 13%. Adding a second one in that time period increased the likelihood of 32%. So just that idea that we understand that having multiple black teachers, because I'm instilling something into you. We mentioned earlier, and we keep going back to it. I'm spending more time with you on other things, not just the academics. You looking at me, I'm talking to you, I'm
Yeah.
connected with you. How's your family doing? How was your weekend? I'm not just about this paycheck. I'm not just about, oh, let me get in, do these 8 hours and get up out of here. I'm after school till 5:30 after school, off the books, trying to make sure, like I'm just spending time. They come by my room, Mr. Bell, like, can you help me with this? All right, cool. I'm not trying to put in, let me get this tutoring hour money. I'm really in here like, yo, I'm sitting in my classroom. They coming by the door. Mr. Bell, what you doing? Like, where you going? How you? And it's that connection that we have that continues to make them stay for it. And so when we talk about our students staying in school, are we inspiring them to keep going? Having just one black teacher in grades 3 to 5 decreases the likelihood of low income black students dropping out of high school by 39%. That instills in them in the earlier years, as Trey was saying, I'm already putting something in you to give you like inspire you to go get your education.
That's right.
I had 5 kids this year tell me, oh, I want to be a teacher, and I'm like, man, like, oh, all right, we see you for
were
it.
they boys? Were they
It,
boys?
it was 3 girls, 2 boys, but it was
Okay.
like, all right, like that's cool because I hope you see, and I'm giving you everything. Like I'm not sugarcoating nothing. A kid cutting up, you got it right there. Yo, we ain't gonna do that in here.
Yeah.
They talking crazy. They come in there, saying, no, we don't talk like that in this class in here. I don't know what you do outside, but when you come in here, we show respect. We don't use that kind of language here. And you start to see like, man, like I'm not used to that. I'm around my friends, I'm around my family, they cussing, they doing all this stuff. Nope, you ain't gonna catch that from Mr. Bell. You ain't gonna catch me talking crazy, and you start to see, all right, well, let me fix myself. Let me, start acting like I got some sense while I'm in here. And it's like, that's what it's about. What can we instill in them besides the books? When I think about the whole child, like I've been where you are. I've been a fourth grader. I knew what it was like, and I didn't have nobody to look up to. The only black teacher that was in my class, black male teacher, was in sixth grade. And it's like, man, I'm in first, second. I don't see nobody. The black teachers here, they snapping on kids. They like that remind me of my mom. So like I get it, I'm act right in her class. I'm gonna get what I need done. You have the teacher that's real comforting, that's strict. So it's like, man, you be seeing this. But when I got my first male black teacher, man, I think I was actually in college. No, middle school, and I knew him outside of school. We actually went to church together. And just to see like the difference between him in church and him as there really wasn't a difference, like he carried
Mhm.
himself the same way. And that inspired me to just be like, all right, like, I'm gonna respect him. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. When kids start acting up, yo, cut that out. Like I'll take on that role where it's like, nah, y'all can't be acting like that. Like chill out. But it carries you through and you start to realize, man, like we need more of this, and it's just there's not a lot of representation in it, and it hurts
Yeah.
being in this position for as long as we are. It starts to realize like, man, like what can we do to really get more brothers to come and take on this role, because it's necessary, it's a need. And I think we know it's a need. It's just,
Yeah,
how do we get them there?
And I
that's
thought
a
about, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
that's an intentional recruitment.
Mhm.
Just like now the bilingual, that's an intentional recruitment. We don't have enough bilingual teachers. Matter of fact, I don't know if I said it last week or prior, but I there's a bilingual. We have bilingual classes. We have like 98% Hispanic, right? They don't have enough teachers, so what they did was dual language, so they could utilize this teacher, the Spanish speaking teacher, for
Mhm.
two classes. We split in a half a day, right? 11 o'clock, we're
Mm.
split. You get my students, I get yours. I teach in English, she teaches in Spanish, right? Then this is what happened. I saw another class. I had two little black kids in it. Where you from? Right? I'm thinking, oh, you must be from Honduras or something like that. They said I'm from Haiti, right? Haiti? They're from Haiti. So they speak French. Even though they speak English, I don't know what's that about, but I guess French is their home language. That teacher couldn't speak to them in French or Creole or whatever.
Mm.
They didn't have enough. So there's an active recruitment that we need. And that's another one of the statistics that I saw. We can do that, but who? You know, who? We have to, some things you have to make a stink about, and it has to be a big stink, or they're not going to actively do it. You can show them statistics, I say, our administration, but what's going to happen? So Jeremy, I'm gonna let you talk real fast. One more second. Um, Jeremy, you said you had a teacher in middle school. That teacher made a difference in your life. You
Correct.
even straightened up as a middle school student. I know you in every class you probably didn't do that. I can imagine, but uh, but I know. Am I freezing?
No,
That's
No,
him.
you good.
You're
You good.
freezing. Are you freezing? Oh, you reading? Okay. So see, I'm like, oh shucks. But yeah, that it makes a difference, even no matter where it's at. In younger grades is better, but it made a difference in your life. So
It did.
okay, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no,
no.
no, no. You go
I
ahead.
was,
Who's
I
go
was,
ahead? Yeah.
I was gonna say there are two different points. Jeremy was talking about the teacher in middle school, and I'm from a small town, y'all. Like my hometown. Shout out to Milan, Tennessee. Like all of y'all who are gonna go back and watch this from Milan, I love y'all. Humboldt, I love y'all. I represent where I'm from. I love where I'm from. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Population about 8,000 people, right? So
Wow.
like I said last week, my graduating class was only 140 students. Like we all grew up together, our parents grew up together, that kind of thing. So when I was a kid and I was in elementary school, I didn't have a black teacher. Like the
Mm.
only black teacher in my elementary school was Coach Webb. Coach Webb, if you watch this later, I love you. Thank you. But she was a PE teacher. And so when I got to middle school, my sisters, they experienced a black teacher. She was a woman. Her name was Miss Winfrey. When I made it to middle school, I was so excited because I was like, yes, I'm gonna get a black teacher. I'm gonna get a black teacher. And Miss Winfrey had actually retired when I got to middle school.
Oh
I
man.
was like, oh, so I didn't have my first black male teacher until high school,
Mm.
and he was my driver's ed teacher. So like where
Yep.
I'm from,
Yep. Driver's ed.
yeah, black male teachers are not seen. They're not there as much as you would desire them to be. And then on the flip side to what Jeremy was saying, there are some differences between the both of us because he's self-contained. He teaches every subject. My first 2 years, I was self-contained, but now we've departmentalized in grades 3 through 5. So
Oh,
I,
really?
I only teach math. The past 5 years, I have taught fourth grade math and science. And I've had my teammate, shout out to my teammate, Miss Parker. I've had my teammate, she teaches reading, writing, social studies. So when I look at it like that, I was hearing him talk like I have this group, like I can hone in on what they need and
Mhm.
da 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 da. And I felt the same way. Like when we departmentalized, I was like, oh man, like two groups of kids, double the grades, double the parents, double
Yeah,
the
yeah.
but now like hearing you talk, the light bulb clicked. I was like, man, like this is really a blessing in disguise. You
Mhm.
had double the everything, but double the impact, like
Correct.
double the
Correct.
impact.
Come on now.
You were able to reach, you were able to touch more kids than you would if you were just by yourself.
That's
If
real.
you were just
And
like I'm just here, this is just my class.
That's
And so
real.
I see how God is sort of setting that thing up like, no, 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 no. I need you because you're bigger than just these 25 right here.
Mhm.
Let me give you 50. Or this year, I have almost 70. Let me give you 70, so you can positively impact each one of them.
Wow. Wow. So
oh wow.
so you say that, man, I was just a fourth grade reading teacher for 5 years.
Mm.
Wow.
We just went self-contained 2 years ago. So
So
for
what drove the
5
move?
years,
What drove the
yeah,
move?
yeah. You talking about 90 students, all different levels. We had three cohorts. You have your O1 cohorts. These are students these are the babies. These are the ones that you got to spend that extra time with them. You got to make sure that they really get it. You have your O2 cohort where these kids great. You give them the lesson, you give them the skill, they run with it, boom, they can do it. And then we had an O3 cohort where they need a little more guidance. You really got to walk through them just a little more. They have the ability, they just might have some behavior. They may have this situation going on. So for 5 years, that's what it was. So now it was the sense of more of like putting out fires. And what's crazy is, man, like I said, my school's K-8. Man, I got eighth graders come, Mr. Bell, like I remember you taught us this or you
Yeah.
taught us this. They come down, oh, you teaching math now? Like, oh, that's cool. You taught me math. Like I probably would, and it's like I tell my kids now, like, you don't even like this is School of Bell. You know what I'm saying? Like you got me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not no moving from class to class. So you representing me. And it's like when you
Yeah.
here and you not doing your best, now it's looking like, well, I don't know about Mr. Bell. These students they're not performing as well as they could. But when they came in my classroom, I told them, look, this is what it's gonna be.
Right,
And we're
right.
gonna work hard because I know every single one of you are capable. I made sure to shout out every student. I made sure to let them know, yo, you killed this, you rocked this on this test. And you can see that moment where it's like, yeah, I did do that. Like I can, So for me, I have a cohort now of I teach an O3 cohort, and in my school, these I love my students. They try and then they don't try. They give up, and I'll tell them straight up. Listen, I don't know what any other teacher you might have had that told you. I don't know what other things you might have heard, But when you in this classroom, like we working, we
Yeah.
gonna put this work in. We gonna do. I don't. You need something, you come to me. We talk about. We gonna work it out. And I again, what we talked about last week. I keep referring back to last week, but man, I put out so many fires within my own classroom that it's like, yo, I'm gonna handle that situation. Don't worry about it. Like I got you. But I start to realize, like today was a day. But I started to realize where students were having issues in other classrooms, and they came to my classroom and they started to spread in my classroom. And I had to reach out and I had to tell them, I had to go to the dean or culture, and I told him, like, listen, this isn't happening in my classroom, but it's starting to feed into my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know if you're getting the message, but like, yo, this happened, this situation happened. And it hurt me because man, I knew it was going to fall on them. I knew that it was going to be a consequence, and
Right.
it was coming from me because they knew it was going to come from me because so the culture was going to come to my classroom. They was
Yeah.
going to talk to me. They was going to say, "All right, Mr. Bell, like here's what we're going to do for the situation. Like, do you have any work and stuff like?" And it's like, man, like I was just developing this rapport with the student. We was just as the school year's in there. It's been a long year, but we starting to really get together, and he had to leave and go to in school. And I was just like, man, like there go another failed relationship type situation. He came
Well,
back. He came back a couple like hours later. Hey, Mr. Bell, how you doing? Like, I apologize for how I was acting. Like I understand you had to do what you had to do. And it was like, man, that respect was still there.
Yeah.
Like you realize that, man, I've been trying to work with you. I've been trying to give you opportunities to fix it, but it has reached a point where it's out of my control. And you still respect me enough to come and like, all right, have a good day. Like, there wasn't no love lost. It wasn't like you walking around there
yeah.
now like, I can't believe you got me in trouble. And it was like at that you realize more and more, like, man, like I'm really trying to do my best with you. I'm really trying to make sure that you get everything you're supposed to get, and at the same time help you understand there's consequences for your action. I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna support you, but when you reach a level that's out of my means, out of my control, there's consequences that come with that. And if you don't learn that now, if you don't learn that in fourth grade, by the time you get to fifth grade, eighth grade, high school, you've been getting away with all these chances,
The rock.
and now it started to hit you hard. You're like, yo, but I was just, and it's like, nah, like you and your young man, um, you can't do things that the other children could do. They looking at you a certain way. You got a reputation that you already have, but it's like as a black male teacher, we got to be able to instill those things in our students. We got to be able to recognize, like, yo, I've been in your shoes. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. I've been where you are. I'm trying to help you not have to deal with some of the things I had to deal with.
Absolutely.
And if you get it now, as you get to high school, as you get to middle school, it's going to be a lot easier for you to deal with, and you're not going to have as many issues moving forward.
There's a guy. He was on my show a couple months ago. His name is Patrick Briggs.
Hmm.
He goes to schools. He does professional development, and he was a teacher. Then he was a principal, and now he's a consultant. And he came to our district, and he was talking about relationship building, how it made a difference because people will come, students that behaved well in his class around him, they will get in another place and it's like they forgot who they are. And he would talk to them and he was like, I could do this all day long, come back, and then they'll straighten up. But there's something called relationship building.
Come on.
And that's something that I'm working on in my class. The dynamics in my classroom are, oh my goodness. You like, uh, what are you gonna do? And it's building, and it's funny because I have to build with each student. Each student's needy. Each student's needy. Imagine if the students come to your class and they need a father. They don't have a father. They never had a father. They don't know fathers. This is recorded, but I really don't care. I I grew up without a father. I didn't know. I had somebody who said he was my father. I thought he
Mhm.
was my father, but he wasn't. He was not a lot either. Like he
Gotcha.
just wasn't there. He was in the military. He came around whenever, and then I didn't miss anything. I was missing out, but I didn't realize I was missing out because
Right, right.
no nobody had a father. Like people had a father. You got a father. No, right. That's
That's
how it
good.
was. Like family members who had fathers, I never saw them.
Mm,
They have fathers. I see them once in a while. I
right.
never saw them. Right. So it wasn't. So imagine these kids, they're needy. They come in your classroom, they need you. That's what I'm telling you. I was so emotional riding here, riding home today, because I'm thinking about this impact, what we can do. Big brother, big sister programs, all this, these, how do we recruit teachers? What do we say to a child to instill that we need teachers? They don't have to work in a public school. They don't have to work in private. I don't know what we say to get people, because that's not a thing. You talk to the students about being a teacher and
Yeah,
they're a black boy.
yeah,
We don't do that. You want to be a mechanic, you want to be a engineer, you want to be
yeah,
a whatever. We never say teacher.
yeah.
Maybe you do.
I mean,
I don't know.
the teacher profession doesn't get the respect it deserves
Bingo.
nationally.
Bingo.
You know, universally. Like we when you think of a teacher, it's almost like, yo, what they say, those who can't teach, ain't that was the slogan.
That's
Those
what
who
they say,
can't
right?
teach. But every single person in any career profession had a teacher help them get to where they are. Whether
Bingo.
you actor, whether you a athlete, whether you a doctor, like you had someone teach you how to be that profession. Yet we don't treat our teachers with that same level of respect, and we definitely don't pay them the way they're supposed to be paid. You know, my job, I love my job. Compensation is great. You know, especially when I
Mhm.
talk to other teachers, and it's like, man, like I ask myself, could I do what I'm doing if the salary was less? And I really have to start thinking about my life, the life that I have, my family, being a provider, being able to provide and support as much as I might have a heart to do so. That's why you have teachers, 3, 4 jobs. And then
Bingo.
it's like, man, well, we can't, like, as much as I may want to, then you get that. As much as I would love to teach these kids, as much as I would love to be in front of them, giving them these lessons, I got to be able to support my family. I got to be able to make sure I'm doing this and that. So, like, when you think about the profession, that's how it's looked upon,
So
So,
that's society.
Yep.
right. So
Does
in
it?
Jersey, and shout out, like I said, man, they have a program in Jersey, that they're actually looking for minority teachers. It's called Mocha. Um, and
Really?
it's crazy. I was recruiting. Like I was trying to find people where it's just like, yo, you want to teach? Like I saw you doing some sub work. I know you like to coach, things of that nature. And that's that bridge. Like you like to coach, why don't you come teach and things of that nature? But it was called Mocha Men of Color Hope Achievers. This is like a real program that they have out of Rowan University, where they're
Really?
paying this money where they're trying to get New Jersey black male teachers to come. They go through the program. Governor Murphy signed it in 2019 to create these opportunities for minority men, and it's like I'll be honest, I don't necessarily see the benefits, not the benefits, the what am I trying to say? The results of it. You know,
Oh,
there's not there's men that are applying, but where are they putting them? They got to go to school, they
Right.
got to go back to class, they got to go back. So it's like I still got to do this 2 year program. I still got to try to. Are they going through the program? Are they finishing the program? Like it's not easy taking tests and practice tests and trying to make sure you got all the certificates and things of that nature. Right now, if you went to college, you could be a teacher.
Right.
Like that's
I
really what
know.
it is. So when we talk about putting it out there, it's like, man, like, are we giving the profession its due diligence? Like, are we giving it the respect that it deserves? And then on top of that, compensation, where people are like, yo, I'm gonna go be a teacher.
How
Like,
how 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 did they get? How did you become a teacher, Trey? What caused you? I don't because
Listen,
neither one of you told me that. Oh, you did, Jeremy.
Do you see this time he was talking? I'm like, no, 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 no. I can. I'm gonna say this. I was 22 years old.
Mm,
I was a senior in college. I was working as an accounting intern for the Memphis Grizzlies. I wasn't making a whole lot of money. I was only making about 9.75 an hour. 9.75 an hour.
Said a whole lot of money.
eh, I wasn't making no money. I mean, barely
Yeah,
minimum wage.
yeah,
But somewhere in my journey, it was and I hate, actually I don't apologize for being spiritual. I don't apologize for none of it.
come
It
on, man.
was
mm-hmm,
God who called me to it. It
mm-hmm,
was him who played. It was just like he just dropped it on me. It was like a burden. I'm not even lying to you.
Wow.
It was a
yeah,
burden. They knew, my boss, Miss Karen Mary, Miss Kim Newsom, they knew it had got to a point where I was doing the job as the accounting intern, but they knew I wanted to teach.
yeah,
They would tell you my heart was with teaching. I would talk about it all the time on that job. And that desire just fell on me. Like I literally, that was from God.
you were
It
in college.
I was still in college. I was a
Uh-huh.
senior in college. So it wasn't, I never had a desire to be a teacher. I never even thought about it, because when Jeremy was talking, I was thinking, we used to have career day and all this stuff. Not one time did I ever see a teacher come to career day.
That's real.
No, I
Not
can
one,
talk. The
not
school
one,
is full of teachers.
but
None of
but
them can talk.
not one time did I ever see an administrator come to career day. Not one time did I ever see a principal. Hey, I'm a principal, da 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 da. Hey, I'm a dean of this, da 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 da. Not one time. Because in everybody's mind, this is something that I'm supposed to have. Like, this is something I don't even think about. You get what I'm saying? And so kids and their parents and society
Right.
struggle with how they view us. One side is thank God for teachers. Teachers are
Come on now.
underpaid, they overwork, they da 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 da. The other side, these kids is you can't tell me what to do. You ain't my mom, you ain't my daddy. I don't need you, doc. And the parents be like, I don't know who you think you are. You can't tell my child what to do. I'm the parent, I'm the daddy, I'm the mom, I'm this. So kids struggle with that. They see
Yeah,
one side, they see the other side. In their head, they only 7, 8. They don't know what to believe.
yeah,
Wow.
So that's why it's best to be consistent and be yourself at all times.
That's
They
real.
gonna believe what they see consistently, They
yeah,
my experience with this teacher was there for me. This teacher showed up when they didn't have to. This teacher came to my birthday party, my basketball game, my dance recitals. They're gonna see that.
Right.
But media and society portray so many other things,
Yeah.
and it does hinder those who may have a desire to go into teaching from
Wow.
actually doing it. The money also, I'm gonna be honest with you. I live in Memphis. I ain't talking about my district. God bless the district. God bless everybody.
mhm.
But the pay, I don't get paid what I'm worth.
No,
I don't get
none
paid.
of us do, but
None of
New
us do.
Jersey's a little
None of
better.
Because
them.
he was talking about teachers having to get 2 and 3 jobs, and I say this, just being transparent. My journey since being a teacher, the Lord has blessed me. My parents, my family, my big sister, um, instilled how to budget money and how to maneuver a certain way. And so, there have been seasons and times when my back was against the wall, and you were like, dang, like as he was talking, like as a man, you don't want to go out and date and create a family because you're a teacher. You don't, it may not, ends
Mm.
may not meet the way
Yeah,
you want it to. You give God what he's due, you pay your tithes and offering all this stuff, but ends may not look the way you
Come
want it
on.
sometimes. And so I've been in seasons like that, but majority of my time, it has been God, you have blessed me
Right.
to be intelligent and to be smart with my money first because I trust you with it. But
Come
then
on.
yeah,
I know how to handle what you have given me. So people look at me and they be like, Trey, you rich, like you a teacher, like you got it, you this, because I'm blessed to be able to do some of the things I desire to do.
Right.
What they don't know is it ain't the money, it's God
yeah,
Come on now.
and what
right.
it's really worth. Like I'm supposed to be making hundreds of thousands. I'm not
Mm-hmm,
making hundreds of thousands. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Like, and then the money, I hate to say it, the money that you give, you tax it. We got insurance, we got all these things to pay for. Like, why are we not government
Come
employees?
on now.
Like, why do we
You
not?
you got You got pension too?
Yeah, all of this stuff. Like why do we have to go through? Like we are needed. We sitting
Yeah,
here. You want to know how to get some more people in here? Pay them.
that's
Okay,
real.
Let's start with
absolutely.
something that's appeasing to the eye
Then
first.
they hit you with the 10.5 month.
And
You
and
got
so
summers off. What you complaining for? What?
bingo. But
Yeah.
they don't know that I don't get paid over the summer the
Come
way
on now.
that my
Right.
shirt up is. We get
That's
paid 26 times a year. So, for those, there are some people like Mississippi, some counties in Mississippi, they get paid once a month. They get paid, however, they don't get paid during the summer. So they get more money, but they don't get paid
Yeah.
consistently like I do. So
wow.
don't think because I'm at home with my feet up June 1st, while everybody else at work, that I just got it on easy street. Mm-mm-mm. No, they have to take some of my salary. They cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. So brother
Make it
Trey
stretch
can,
out.
have a little bit during the summer. So I think that there are so many different factors that
There are.
go into getting people even interested, like turning your eye on to saying, hey, teaching is something I want to do. Like we have to see representation everywhere. Career
Everywhere.
fairs. We need to see it at career fairs. We need to see it in expos. We need to see it in colleges. We need to look at these education departments in colleges. We need to see how they are handling things and what structures and systems are in place to ensure that if this is something I say I want to do, I'm going to support you the whole time through. I'm going to support you with your praxis. I'm going to support you with the state exams. I'm going to
Come
support you
on.
with meeting your portfolio requirements.
Come on.
I'm going to support you because what's happening is people are just getting thrown in and they don't know
Uh-huh.
what they're getting themselves into. And so, like here in Memphis, I was thinking we're the 24th largest school district in the United States, over
Wow.
100,000 students, over 14,000 employees, 6,500 of them technically we have 6,500 are teachers. As of 2020, we only have 5,800. Of those 5,800, fewer than 800 are black male teachers.
Wow.
But that's a lot.
But think about it,
That's a lot.
for over 100,000 students and
Oh,
almost 7,000
oh,
of them are
okay, yeah,
teachers, and only
yeah,
fewer than 800 are black male teachers.
Nah,
yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you may see that in high school. You may not see all of them in middle school.
yeah.
And so I salute. There is one fellowship that's happening in Memphis, and I think it's been going on for a minute. And I've actually met some individuals, some men who are in the program. It's called Man Up 901, and I believe Dr. Patrick Washington is over that. Getting black males who desire to teach, who want to teach into the classroom. He's preparing them. I look on social media, on their Instagram, on their Facebook. They're meeting on Saturdays doing professional development. These men, I've interviewed some of them for my research. They're taking the praxis exams. They're being supported. They're being pushed in the right direction. And so I salute that. I salute
Yeah.
every brother that's saying, hey, I'm going to be a teacher because this is what I want to do because I want to make a difference. And Dr. Washington has a program. So if you're listening to me, if you're in Memphis, Tennessee, hey, you need to connect with Dr. Washington. He has a program that's pushing and helping those that want to get there get there. So I think that there are so many different factors. But first, this is a social media age. This is an age where things have to catch the eye. Like we have to be interested
Facts.
in it first. Like we need to see it. And so I think that it's time for people to see educators in a more positive light, because
Yeah.
now everything that you see about educators, like the people that slapping people and all of that, and
Come on. Come
they
on.
have people taking his hair down, which that's a whole different story because it's selective outrage when you think about it.
Come on
Because
now.
you get mad about this, but you don't get mad that you don't show up and your child don't do what they're supposed to do. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
selective
All right.
outrage at this point. And so we need to really focus on getting people that look like me and Jeremy into the classroom. Period.
My God.
Drop.
Wow. Drop the mic.
I don't got
Absolutely.
nothing else to say after that. I'm just playing.
Drop
I got a
the
lot more to say. I got a lot more to say, but I'm gonna stop.
Yeah. Are you,
Woo!
Jeremy? Are you part of the members of color? Part of the board, NJEA members of color?
No.
No.
I
Hmm.
didn't I didn't even I don't even know. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so
I got some
We got
research to do. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
listen. I just as a so at my school, we actually just started this. Where and even as we started it, I still wasn't able to be a part of it. We have these affinity groups that we started in our school, where we there is a collection of black male teachers from different campuses that have gotten together to kind of talk about what can we do to get more black men, what can we do to retain more black men teachers and things of that nature. And I think I went to like the first meeting that we had, and um, to hear, I mean, we had like 10 black male teachers on the screen. It was a Zoom conference. We was talking, and it was crazy to hear like, oh, what you teach? Well, I'm the gym teacher. I'm the art teacher. I'm all these non-core teachers who have been there 10 plus years.
Hmm.
But when you think about, it's like my man, one of my close coworkers, he an art teacher at the job, black teacher, and he teaches art. And the conversations we have is along the lines of like they need more. They when they come into the classroom, they look at it more as like, oh, this is a free period type situation where it's like, I can draw, I can go color. I'm gonna run through this real quick. I'm not even gonna put the effort into it. And it's like for him, he's seeing it where it's like, man, like I want to do so much more, but because it's like they're not really interested, I'm trying to do these lessons, it makes it harder for me, and
Where
that's it.
does he work? In your
He
in
works, he
Kansas?
works where I work. We
Oh,
work, we work together. But it's like this idea of like he's seeing all the students.
yeah.
He has the students that gravitate to him. He has the students that, I had one of the students in my classroom. Oh, he one of my favorite teachers. He really spends the time and teaches me how to draw and how. So it's like he's making an impact. And then when we start to think about the core classes and things of that nature, like I'm the type where I want to get more connections. I want to have more insight on what's going on with the male teachers. What can we do? I look at my school where we have, it might be about 6 or 7 black male teachers in the building, and it's like we all spread out, and it's like this one teaches 7th grade, this one, he helping out in the middle school, this one right here, he's a dean, this one right here, he's and he's on admin team, where it's like we're in all these positions, but it's like we don't even get a chance to come together
Yeah.
and
Well,
to develop something for the school where we could develop a culture for us because we don't really have the time. Like I got to do
well,
this, I got to move. So what's
I
up?
got you. I got you. I'm sorry.
No, you good?
It's close to the hour.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
don't. I don't know. But you gonna be my first recruit to NJEA members of color. You're part of the union.
I don't have a
You part of
union.
you. Oh, you at a
Charter school.
a charter school. Oh, so you're not a part. Oh,
No,
that's
no
why you don't
union. I
know.
don't get me in trouble. You know what I mean, Lloyd? Listen,
No,
we talk about unions every now and then, but I don't know. I don't know how that might impact what's
I
going on
got
over where
people in
I'm at.
here. That's how you don't know. Well, so NJEA,
Oh,
we going. It's almost 7 o'clock. Well, New Jersey Educators Association, is it's part of NEA. And so we have a guy who used to be the president of his union, and he came on he got hired for NJEA. Then they hired him for the being black, I think. And so he said, well, "What are we gonna do?" He's looking around. He see none of us. We got to do something about this. So they gave him his own unit called the Members of Color, and he recruited. He got Facebook. Now it's Instagram, and we
okay.
meet. We come together and we
Really?
meet, and we have uh they are trying to make sure every district has it, and if they don't, we get it in those districts. And some people in other states saw what we were doing, and
Okay.
they wanted them to help them to model it and get it up and running. My district, because we're in Trenton, we have a lot of black people, so those we are a big district. And so is that an alarm? So It's there. I know it's alive. I gotta work on that. But uh it's a thing. And
Yeah. No, I
we
definitely
we
listen. I'm always interested in getting more. You know, even though, like I said, my school, we don't. I mean, it's very rare that even just as the black teachers at my school come together. You know, if it ain't African American history, if it ain't February, we ain't coming. We rarely have those moments where we come together.
You could have a group though.
Yeah,
You could have a group. You could get together. I remember I was talking to a lady. She was on here. She's a part of it. She's a retired now. She's a consultant, and she was like, "You can get together and get a prayer group before work. What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Yeah, but that's the same type of thing, right? You can get together
mhm.
and come together and with your shared ideas, your
Right.
shared
We
uh
had that. We definitely did during the pandemic. We put together a prayer team. We would have Bible study, and it would be good. We would come together and we read our scriptures and we pray for one another and pray for the school and things of that nature. So like
so
it
you
is.
could do
It's
the
on
same
us.
thing. You could do the same thing.
It's on
So
us. It's on us to do more of that.
the purpose of the group is our group is to have representation. Yeah, we have representation. We went to I went to a meeting and on the wall, I'm just the on the wall was pictures, all people from the union, right? Everybody was white. Everybody was white. There was nothing, and everybody was white. The place is in the middle of Trenton. You know, Trenton is the capital. You know what that looks like.
That's right. Of
And
course.
so they got Eric in there, and now you look at the wall. It's all full of color. All
Wow.
full of color. And we come together and we share our ideas. We have I don't know if it's called a cohort, some kind of task force where they're teaching us now. In September, we're going to have like meet every week to get together, and then at the
Okay.
convention we're going to put in our work and whatever we learn we're going to go there and do it. But it's about organization.
I
But
would definitely. I
you,
definitely just to get some information. Because we need more of that. And as you said, we definitely need representation. We definitely need to understand just how important we are, especially with the students that we serve. There's something that's innate within us as African Americans for the plight and the things that we've gone through. Like I teach my kids, we start our semester off, we talk about Harriet Tubman. That's like the first book we read, right? We talk about her story and like we consider her a superhero,
Mhm.
because there's no one really like her who has done the things that she has done, the amount of people she's
Yeah,
saved and things of that nature. But like one of the main things we talk about, and I tell my students all the time, it's like, man, it was against the law for us to read or write. So when you
yeah,
come to school, like you are making a difference. Like you don't realize just how much has been put in to get you where you are. So when I'm the one that's giving it, when I'm the one that's bringing it home, it hits a little harder when I start telling you about, yo, they didn't want you to read or write. They didn't want you to learn what you're learning today. And it's important that we continue that. It's not just in February. Black history is every day.
Right,
Every day you get up, every time you come to school, you making history.
right,
You're no longer a statistic. You're no longer just somebody out here trying to, get by. No, you are making a difference. But more students need to hear that because, as Trey said, what they see is something totally different, and it changes the way that they carry their lives. And if they don't have somebody that looks like them, who's making a difference, who's showing them, yo, we can be better, the last thing I'll say, there was a young man at my school who came in as a sub, and we were talking and he was real, pro black. It's my guy. Like that's how he stands. He grand rising and like, how like
mhm,
that's my man, right? He came to me one day and he was just like, yo, man, I just really want to tell you I appreciate you for what you're doing. I watch you. He come in, he take his hat off. When he come in, he's very respectful. But it was the idea of like, man, I see the difference that you're making. I come from this area. I know what these students are going through. And we need more like you. We need you
yeah,
to keep doing what you're doing. And like I said last time, those are the things that inspire you to just keep going. Those are the things that make you say like, if you from Camden, if you know what it was like growing up, and you realize like, man, I had somebody tell me, man, if I had you when I was younger, my life would probably be different.
Yeah.
That for
Yeah.
me was it, where it was like, I'm not from here, but I know that if I had somebody who looked like you, who talked like you, who taught like who treats the students the way that you treat them, I would have had a better outcome. I'd have looked at things
Yeah.
differently. I'd have did better. So it's there. People know it's there. We just got to do our part to make sure that more and more people step up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate all that. We're gonna say go out with one sentence, two sentences. Uh Man, I don't even think I think we done, but I can't do that. To tell us where we can find you, how we get you on somebody else's podcast, somebody else's stage, because you are public speakers. You probably didn't want to be that, but
I
people
respect.
gonna be looking. I found you,
I
uh,
respect.
Trey, and because of your voice. Period. That's how I found you, because of your voice. So give us something to, I don't know, man. You gave it to us. You brought
Yeah,
two sentences, three at the most. I'm gonna say a paragraph. No, go ahead.
What do you want me to share? What do you want? What do you ask?
What would you want to share to these statistics, whether it's teachers, whether it's parents, whether it's this show is for teachers. We have people that are not teachers watching. So yeah,
So of the and just off the top of my head, because it goes into my dissertation, but of the 4 million teachers in the United States teacher workforce, I think only about 8% of them are black. Of that 8%, then we look at the 2% that are black male. The only thing I can say is we need more black male teachers. I salute every brother who is in the classroom, who is showing up doing the best you can, because what you're doing is making a positive impact on not just the students that you have now, it's going to impact their cousins, their little sisters, brothers, because they're going to go home and tell somebody, hey, this is what my teacher taught me, and this is my teacher showed me this, and my teacher did this.
that's
So
real.
your reach is extended just because you have one. So I salute anybody in it that's doing what they're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And if anybody is listening, if you need a black brother to encourage you, you want to reach out, you need somebody, a mentor, you need anything. If I can be a mentee or help any way, you have all my info. You can find me on Facebook, Treverius Cunningham. You can find me on IG at IMTMC underscore. You can find me on Twitter at Dr. TMC underscore. So I'm here for you.
I
I
love
didn't
it.
get all that. You gonna send me that, and then I'm gonna put it in the comments. I'm
Okay.
gonna change it and put it in there,
I love
because
it.
I got, I'm a innovator or something. I just found what I could find.
And you can
But
find me
you're
on
gonna give me that
LinkedIn too.
information.
I saw you on
That
LinkedIn. Yeah.
that's how
LinkedIn
I
to
found him.
various Cunningham.
He answers from strangers.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Wow.
send him a message, Jeremy. I know I said two, three sentences. This man
Nah,
gave us
you good. No, no, no.
a
Because that's
but
Dr. Trey right there. He getting ready. That's all it is.
Oh,
That's all.
God,
That,
forgive me
you know
for
how it is. He got all that knowledge in there, so you got to get it out,
fantastic.
right? I just want to
I
share this right here. It was one of the statistics and things that we was looking up to. But black male teachers can provide hope, inspiration, advice, compassion, and sometimes tough love to make a difference in their students' lives. Um, I think I think the most important thing about being a black teacher, being a teacher in general, but being more so a black teacher, as we said earlier, is representation. The children that we serve, and you know what, in those statistics, and this is what I'm saying, it wasn't just the black children who were making those differences. It was the presence of having a black teacher. It wasn't like I'm only singling out the black kids in my classroom. I got 3 black students in my classroom out of 25, 26, where, and they all, like I said, I'm not just saying like, all right, us 3 over here huddle up. No, like I'm giving you me, and I think it impacts all the students. We as black men, because of the statistics as a black male in general, when we think about a black male, the I'm just gonna call it the discrimination that we face on a day to day. To have a black male teacher in the classroom makes you that unicorn. You already are something
Yeah.
special. And I think children have more understanding of that because when they think about a black male, they don't see that. They
Right.
see
No.
the person who might be on the street. They see the person who might be in the news. They know those statistics. The students know those statistics more than anybody. So when you walk into the classroom and you carry yourself a certain way, there's already this idea like, maybe everything isn't what we think it is. Maybe there is some good. Maybe I can learn from this man. And the idea that I'm even in the classroom should give you that idea that I am something different. I am someone different. And I do have something to give. So, as a black man, in order for us to continue to make change, we have to be that change. We have to be the ones that are going into that classroom. We have to be the ones that are spending time with those kids. It's not going to be up to the parents. We already know what we already talked about the parents. It's not going to be those relatives and things because they themselves don't know what it's like because
Mm.
they may not have had a black teacher. They may not have those things. So my only encouragement is that if you have any desire to make a difference, do it in the classroom. And I think if more of us step up and do that, we'll start to realize the impact that teachers truly have in society. And my only hope and our prayer is that it changes. I thank God for being here. I am Jeremy Bell. J Bell told you so is my Instagram. You go see me in social media. I'm around. I don't really do the Twitter or anything like that. But I'm getting more out there. This platform and just understanding like the need
Yeah.
to express more of what we believe in and understanding that there is a time for change and I'm part of that change and just doing more. So I shout out to Ronette, Miss Ronette, Empower Ed, educator, absolutely.
Yes.
Teachers
Yes.
with oil. I'm telling you right now, you can't change it. That's it. Teachers with oil. Like there's a specific group of teachers that you're looking for, and
You
you reach them. And the
you have to
idea
make me cry because
you
that was oh my god.
can't
Last night
change it.
I was struggling. So I had to talk to
Educators with
myself.
oil. That's it.
I had to talk to myself last night, and I said, let me pray, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. That helps your mind works while you're
Of course.
sleeping. So I'm like, am I going back to that name? Did I succumb to pressure? What it looks like for somebody else? Then I was seeing different people who are doing what I want to do, what I've been doing, and for me to change, God, my gift will make room for me.
That's it.
Period.
Stop what you're trying to do.
Come on.
You're trying to fit in someplace. Who cares? If I want you there, you're there.
That's it.
If you go into school and they don't want you saying God or Jesus, don't. They know who you are when they ask you to go there. So I'm telling you, I was about to cry. I got chills because you don't understand. You see what I did all this
I
time. I
do.
did
Nah, that's it. I love that
Jeremy,
I did
go
logo.
off into something. Go ahead, man of God. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
like
and
it, but seriously, I
he
we
knew
talked
that he
about
said,
it.
look,
So I
look,
think
look,
so
it's
often,
educated with oil.
so
I
often we do that as believers. We succumb to our faith and we don't want to reach those people. We want to. Oh, I had the 3 second John. So so often we, so often it's like, yeah, I'm a Christian teacher, but I believe in God, but and it's
No.
and what I'm starting to realize is that the fact that I'm the Christian teacher is what's making a difference in my classroom. It's the fact that I
it
got a
is.
whole level of patience that the other teachers don't have. There's a whole level of grace that I'm given. There's a whole level of peace that I have because there's
Right.
moments every day where I'm ready to go, where I'm ready to lose it. And I got to say, but God, I got to say, Lord, keep me because I know what that next second could be. And I got too much on my plate to be caught up in some drama, caught up in some mess. So one of the things I love, Trey, you always say it, man. I thank God. You always bring God into it because it's important, man. We got to do more of that because our students need it, our families need it. We are that light. As
Somebody
my
wrote
bishop
something else.
always
Who
said,
is
we are
this?
the only God that our kids see. And I'm
This
not
man just turned
preaching,
into church service.
right? I'm not preaching to them. I'm
No,
just
I
showing.
know. It
I'm
is.
not. I'm saying I'm just showing the love in the classroom. I'm
Yes,
just showing
absolutely.
compassion. I'm not telling you like you need God. Stop doing that. No,
Right.
No,
I'm here for
yeah,
you.
I
I'm
mean
there
this
for
right
you. So, I like I said, man, it's educators will all. That's it. There's a specific demographic that you are looking for, that you will reach, that you will touch, and as you said, God will make room for you. Educators will all. That's what this is.
Period.
here.
And that
You're,
was your heart. That was the passion. That's what it was. So
you're
that's it.
strategically placed. Remember,
Hey,
I
come on,
said that
I know.
you're strategically placed. Like it's more, we're not just placed where we are in the natural, but
come on.
God has given us an assignment to be the light of the world, to be the salt of the
Hey,
earth,
hey,
and
hey.
to reach someone else. Like He has given us an anointing and a call and a gift to make a difference, not just naturally, but spiritually. So you're strategically placed. We're all strategically placed. Like, so walk in it. I mean,
We can't lose sight of that. We
and
can't.
what God
No.
has for you
So
is gonna be for you. Period. That was
Hey,
on here today.
absolutely.
What God has for you is gonna be for you, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. If
love
God
that.
called you, if He called you to do this podcast, the way that you're doing it, how you're doing it, with who you're doing it with, is for a reason, and it's His reason. He gave it to you for a purpose. So you better obey
You're
God.
gonna reach those who are for you to reach.
That's
That's
right.
it.
Obey
That's
God.
yours.
Obey.
Come on.
Drop the mic again.
yeah,
That's
Obey
how. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's how we end it. That's it. Like
That's right.
I can't
yeah.
wait to go forward and see what you
That's
do.
right. I feel a shout. I want to shout a
I
little
did.
bit.
I'm telling you, when I went to bed, I know we gotta go, but it been for over a year and a half. Educated with oil. Then I start taking classes, and I'm trying to be what other people are, and it's not. And you two came and ruined it by you got this and got that, and I'm like in my head, y'all don't shut up.
Yeah.
Go, and I can't even say that, right? And so then I'm like, all right. Then I had somebody else. He was recording because he wanted to do it now and not wait. And he came, we talked, we did the same thing, but it was fantastic. You got to come back in 2 weeks. Keon's gonna be here next week, and then the 20th. You gotta watch. This
Cool.
man is awesome. This man messing up my whole show. I'm like, no, you can't talk about what God did and how God. No, stop in my head. You keep saying it because I'm gonna say it right.
That's real.
And
That's real.
I'm like, okay, right. We believe in that. I understand. I understand, but shine your light,
That's it.
shine your light, right?
That's
I'm
it.
saying this stuff, and I'm like, then I just said, okay, I gotta really talk because I'm already having a problem with it,
Mhm.
right? Having a problem. When I talked to you, I was having a problem with it. I never told Trey that I changed it. I didn't tell you I changed it. I didn't tell you, right?
Yeah, you did. You told me that you changed it, but you didn't go like specifically into why you were.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I told Jeremy when I first met him, and I was like, I don't want to sound bad, but
Right.
I'm trying to widen my horizons.
So that's
People,
why the first time when you came on and Trey started talking about God, it was just like, we in
that's
here
why
now.
I was glitching. Every time he
We in
said
here now.
God,
Don't even worry
oh,
about it.
And you
every
see,
time he said God, the thing, my computer, it is freeze tonight because I already was talking to God about it,
Come on
and
now.
I already know. But it just
Yeah.
right when you said that, you just like I kind of forgot. I was like, okay, well, whatever. They're Christians. They can talk about God how they want. That's just my guess. Do what they want, right? And so then you said that. So um it is what it is.
it is
Like
what
God
it is.
gave me this. I didn't.
Yeah.
I
Bingo.
didn't. I never missed a day. Honestly, I never missed it. I missed two. One I did it the next day. The other one I just replayed the old one.
Got you.
In 2 years. Almost 2 years. In June it'll be 2 years. I
Wow.
Wow.
never missed a day. I never. I went on vacation. I was on a cruise. I was live.
Wow.
I did it. Right.
Wow.
So thank you for that. I know you went in
Absolutely.
overtime to
Absolutely.
preach,
Good.
but it is what it is. You can't. Well, he's like, don't let no man could put us under. Nobody could
Come on
tear this
now.
apart. Not to mention my gift is gonna make room for me. You trying to want to be in somewhere? I'll put you there. I'll put you there. People see you. So I'm good with that. I thank you for that. You didn't even
Absolutely.
have to do that. You could have sent me a message. You didn't even have to do
No,
that.
I
But
want. I
yeah,
kept seeing it behind you,
I know.
and I love the logo. I love what it is. That needs to be on the shirt somewhere.
And
Yeah, I got
the
bags.
original podcast she wanted me to be a part of, it had a spiritual piece to it. And so I
Yeah.
wanted to get on there with that spiritual piece because what are you
Listen,
talking about? Like I wanted to, hey,
that's it.
I remember
But
that.
that's
It's
how
coming
I
back to
got
my memory
you.
now.
I love it,
Yeah.
man. I
That's how I
truly.
got you.
That's right.
Because he was putting his content out there and he was a black Christian teacher. And then I met, I didn't know you went to church. How did I know? Right? It just was a connection
Right.
immediately.
Right.
I don't think we discussed it. I told you what my podcast was
Correct.
and then what I was trying to change it to. He wasn't trying to preach to me or none of that.
Right.
So it just was he just trying to mess me
Yeah.
up right now.
I
Like
need
what the
this.
heck?
I need this shirt right here. Like he said, I need this shirt. You know what I
It's
mean?
going you got it. You got
Pastor
it. Guess what?
Tim.
That's what
Educators
I
with
do.
oil.
That's what I do. I'm going to advertise from now on. You got
Come
it.
on, educators with oil.
You got it. I got the cricket. I got all
That's
that
it. You
stuff.
got that's it right there. Boom.
Yeah, I got the printer. I went and bought
And you were
a
just telling him that last week.
yeah, huh? And I was telling you, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, Andre Brown Jr. I got you.
Yeah, yeah, that's my man. No,
Remember?
absolutely. And we was talking about that, and I ain't gonna hold you. I was definitely putting sketches together and trying to get a design. And man, I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming. Look at that. They want it.
You want to pay Cash App? I got you.
We
I
want to
Hey,
get
got
an
you.
offer.
Pastor Tim Curtin. Thank you, Pastor Tim, for joining.
That's what's up, man.
There you go. Oh my God, I'm about to cry.
Nah,
Wow.
Oh,
this is
Zenaida, she's better than me. This lady is it right here.
hey, there we go.
This lady is it. She does all the making. She does it. So I thank you guys. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you. I gotta go back to my old commercial. I gotta go back to I changed my commercial all up. I did it. I'm talking about Zenaida, this lady, she helped me. She's my what you call this? The narrator on my commercial. I did a
Okay.
whole new commercial. I kept coming back to her. No, we're gonna take that out. But you got cash app, pastors. Uh, but uh, thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. This is what I'm going to do.
This is
I
it.
don't
This
because
is
God
it.
told me like, what the heck? What are you trying to? You
This
trying to
is
be
it.
bigger than me? Like you can't be bigger than me.
Mm,
Where I go, prosperity goes. You see that? You see me walking over here. This
that's it.
prosperity. What it's right there too, right? Because God
That's it.
is. Wherever I go, that's why I got the oil. When I started, I was like, take the oil with you, right? I don't
Right.
have to. He's already with me wherever
That's
I
it.
go. So thank you.
That's
I
it.
don't know what we gonna cut this hour off for leap. I can't cut it off. It's done. It's
We need
live.
all that. We need all that. We need all that. Absolutely. But again, man, y'all be
Oh,
blessed.
Twitch is
Trey,
live.
I'm gonna be in contact with you, bro. I definitely want to connect with you, man. It's been
That's
an
right.
awesome time being able to sit here and learn from you. I pray that your dissertation, your doctorate, everything that you're going for, that it work out in your favor, and that God continue to use you. Because we already know that the need is there. The need is great. The laborers are few, but you in the field, and just continue to let God use you. Continue to move how He tells you to move strategically. Nothing but the best. Nothing but encouragement. Nothing but love. And like I said, I truly appreciate the connection. And we will continue. We'll continue to make a difference in the world and impact our students and their lives from here on out. So y'all be blessed. Um,
Okay.
I got to roll.
Okay.
But
One thing
seriously,
before we
man, you
go.
guys, it's been awesome.
One
We'll be
thing.
in
One
contact.
thing.
We in the text thread. We in the emails together. So
But one thing before we go, we're gonna get together and we're gonna do something for the young people that we know
okay.
to recruit for teachers. We could do a little conference, your church, wherever. I
Love it.
don't care. Right? All
My
right.
listen, if you
God
go come
bless
to
everybody.
Jersey, I got a venue already. You know what I mean? I do an open mic thing that I do every first
Yep.
Friday. Like I got those things in place. So We gonna make it
All
happen.
right.
I'm with it. All right. Y'all be blessed. Have a good one.
All right. Have a blessed day.
Absolutely be
Thank
blessed.
you for joining Educators with Oil with
Yes,
Ronette
yes, yes.
Branham. Take care, guys.
All
That's
right.
it.